Brain sick.
Yay. Oh, no, that sucks.
I know.
I'm recording.
How do I mute?
You can mute on the bottom left. I don't know if you're on your phone or your computer, but bottom left says mute, and on the phone, I want to say it's bottom left too. But yay. Okay, I'm recording. There were just a couple of things I wanted to kind of bring up because I find that these are really important. And after watching the Diamond Mastermind video, I solidified the fact that it is really important. If you have background music, can you mute though? Or background anything? I'll mute you guys. Don't you like how I was like, don't mute? And now I'm like, mute, it's loud. How do I mute? Manage participants. Bear with me. Isn't it so refreshing to know that you don't have to know what you're doing all the time to be successful? Right? Okay, so I wanted to bring this up because this is what Haley always says. Haley Christian Garrett, sorry. She always says that she's documenting her journey. And I just kind of was thinking about this today. And I think that I was talking to one of my girls, Karina, that wants to join our team in like a month or two after her surgery. And we were talking about how we use our social media to share our journey, but it's like we're documenting it. And I love thinking of it that way. And I know when I just watched Haley's live video today and she was like, I just wanted to document this moment. And I loved thinking of it like that. Like when something happens with coaching or with our life, we're literally using our social media to document it. And not only does that benefit our business, but Brittany Morgan brought up the other day when I was at her house, I think it was, we were talking about this. She mentioned that her Facebook and like social media, all of our Facebooks, this is like our legacy that we're leaving for our family and our children. And it's really crazy to think of it like that because she brought up the fact that like our parents have like, they have photo albums that they show us and they have stories that they tell us. And when you think about it, like we're such a social media, Samantha, can you mute? Oh, I'll do it. Yay. Zoom updated and they make it really easy now. I just hover over you guys and mute you. So when Brittany said that and she said our social media is like our legacy, like it really is. Everything that we share today and what we post will be here forever until Facebook isn't a thing, but I really don't think that's going to happen. So it's literally like, what type of message are you leaving? You know, what are you leaving for your future generations and after you're gone for like people to read? And I know that's like really heavy and I'm sorry if you're just like, what the frick is she talking about? I just thought it was really important to think about that because when we're like, I don't know, it just coincides with coaching really well. One of my biggest takeaways I wanted to point out, I know I want you guys to share yours from the training too or anything that you need help with this week or that you find working. In our Diamond Dash last night, one of the coaches said you don't necessarily need to have a why that makes you cry, but you need to find one that makes you want to work hard. And that really stood out to me because I used to have a really strong why that made me cry. You know, I wanted to live with my husband and I would do anything. And there gets to be a point in this business where you achieve your first why, you know, and then you're like, oh, and you kind of have to reinvent yourself. And so when she said, you know, you kind of just have to find a why that makes you want to work hard, I was like, wow, I never really thought of it that way. And I don't know if that resonates with anyone else as well, but I thought that was a huge takeaway. I don't know how many people saw the video that Keith posted today about the story about, I'm just going to like sum it up really small because I know there are people that aren't in that group as well in the Diamond Dash. So basically the story that Keith shared today was someone else's story. So there was like, you know, this kid in high school and, you know, he had dropped a book and this guy just picked up the book and handed it to him. And the way the kid looked at him was like with gratitude. And, you know, he was so grateful that this kid, you know, picked up this book and then they walked home together that day. And then they were, you know, friends ever since. And then this kid excelled and, you know, went really far in school. And I'm like really pushing the story along because I don't want to tell the whole thing. And then so this kid is the valedictorian at the high school and he's giving a speech about how like just being grateful and being thankful for what you have and your mom and your dad and your family and your friends. And he shared that there was one day where he had been bullied and bullied and bullied. And so he moved schools and then he was bullied again at that school. And these kids had knocked his books out and they ended up on the ground. And he was actually clearing out his locker because he was going to end. It's way too drawn out. What? Oh no, it's worth the watch. So there was, you know, lost my train of thought. Give me a minute. Brain catching up with mouth. So this kid was bullied. He left the school. He went to a new school where he got bullied again. He was clearing out his locker that day that the kid picked up his book and helped him, because he was going to go home and kill himself because he had been bullied so much that it was unbearable for him anymore. And so, like, in that moment when the person picked up his book and they were just like, here, like, they cared about that person, you know, they cared about him in that moment. It showed him like, hey, you know, maybe I can do this. And so he didn't end his life in that. And like, he used that as an analogy. Like, there are people like that are literally at that point in their life, walking around every single day. And by us kind of holding on to our ego and not sharing this opportunity with everyone that we come in contact with, we don't know how many people of like that are that, you know, in that place in their life that we're just bypassing. We don't know. We literally don't know where people are in their life. So by us, you know, we could be walking by all kinds of people like that every single day, and we're prejudging them, or we're just not sharing it with them, and we don't know. I know for me, I was on a really bad path before Beachbody. I know Beachbody has saved a lot of people's lives just from being happier and healthier. So I just really wanted you guys to think about that. Like, when we're offering this opportunity to people, we're not trying to be like, hey, we know everything, come do this with us. We're like, hey, we just want to help you change your life. Like, that's literally it. And this story was so moving because we really never know what people are going through, or how many people we are literally just walking by that are at their wits' end like that. There's a lot of people like that in this world. So I just wanted to kind of take the focus off of us and our fear of reaching out to people, and our fear of thinking that they're going to think that we're stupid. Like, who cares? We have the opportunity to change their life, because what if they're not thinking that? What if that day they're like, I can't be bullied again, one more day and I'm ending it all? Like, we don't know. And that's so powerful. And I don't want to like, I don't take that lightly, you know, because I understand, I know people like that. So there was one other thing I think I wanted to share that I took away from that. No, I said it. Does anyone else want to share anything from that training? Bree, what do you think of it so far? Haley, I don't know who else is in it off the top of my head, but I need you guys to unmute. I'm going to unmute everybody. Oh my God, stop my video. There we go. Bree, talk to me. Haley. Like, when we mastermind, this means we talk. This means you're not in the training. Sarah, you're in the training. I saw you in there. I saw Krista in there too so far. How do you feel?
I am getting a lot out of it so far. One of the things that I've been reading the Go for No book, and I'm like halfway through it because it's actually really small. But one of the things that I think Keith said yesterday was, a no is getting someone to make a decision. So a no is like, it's really hard to get someone to legitimately say, absolutely not, don't even check in with me in the future. Like, that kind of no is really difficult to get. It's like he was saying, it was almost even more difficult to get than a yes. And I was like, that really like hit me, because it's so true. Like, if somebody says, more often people will just like ignore you, or they will, you know, do some other sort of like indirect way of saying no. Like, they just won't respond to you. So like, to get a legitimate, like, that's what the whole book is about, I guess, Go for No. Like, to get a legitimate no, you have to start asking a lot of questions. Like, okay, so what's holding you back? You know, what are you afraid of? And I was like, dang, okay, so if I started with that approach, I think that would really change a lot of the way that I approach talking to people about the opportunity. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, no, I love that you shared that, because when I was watching that video and he said, like, I've heard Go for No, and we're like, cool, go for no. All right, let's just go for no. But like, what does that mean? And so when he really broke it down like that, and he was like, okay, so when we actually talk to people, we have to get them to make a decision. You're like, okay, wow. So yeah, I have to ask a lot of questions rather than just like, are you doing this? Yes or no? You know what I mean? So that was really good. And it's actually, it allows us to dig deep into the conversations. And like Krista mentioned the other day that she got her no, but then she ended up turning her no into a yes, which was pretty cool. I was like, shoot, right? Yeah, no, that was a really good point, and I'm actually going to get that book. And that was Go for No for network marketing. I know there's a couple of them, but I think for us, to benefit us the best, that would be the network marketing one. Haley Garrett, are you in that book? I mean, are you in that training?
Yeah, I am. I was going to say, after Sarah talked, I totally agree. But not only that, the whole beginning of that book, like, focuses on changing your relationship with the word no. And that's what really helped me, was seeing no as a positive thing and, like, going for it instead of seeing it as scary, because it used to give me such bad anxiety. So that was really helpful. That's what I have written down. Like, I have an entire page written down on just, like, that one topic on how to turn no into a positive thing. So if you don't have that book, you should get it. It's only $9.99 on Kindle, so super cheap. And it's so easy to read. So yeah.
It's only like 125 pages, so yeah, it's really.
Yeah.
Oh, what? That's like you could read that overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I'm totally brain farting right now, you guys. I'm so extroverted out. It's not even funny.
I also wanted to say about what you were saying in the beginning, like, about documenting our journey. What's so cool about that too is, like, if you guys have, like, the Facebook Memories app or Time Hop or whatever, it brings you back to all of those times, like a year or 2 years ago, and you get to reread all of your statuses. And so it's really, really cool, because now you can, like, base what you were a year ago or 2 years ago, and you have, like, the actual documentation, like, your feelings of that day. And yeah, it gets kind of embarrassing. Especially when you see, like, how bad you were at posting. It's like, I have, like, a whole, like, list of hashtags on Facebook. But anyways, it's really cool to, like, read your stories, and, like, be able to have that to be able to put into your statuses now and to share those stories. Like, it's really cool. So it makes it a lot easier too to be, like, authentic and to share, like, because I forget my memories sometimes. Like, you, like, process them and then they're gone until that memory comes up on your Facebook or on your Time Hop. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And it also pushes me to share more now for my future self. But yeah, so.
Yeah, Time Hop is a lifesaver for me. Like, I know one of my biggest things in writing posts, like efficient posts that actually relate to people, is reflection and actually looking at who I was back then. And that's why I've always taken so many photos, because of what Haley said. Like, I'll be in a memory and I'll, like, think about it and then it'll be gone. So I used to take a ton of photos, because when I'd go back and look at my photos, it jogged my memory of how I felt in that moment. So Time Hop is an app. I don't have the capability to have the Facebook one, the memories or whatever. They don't offer it to me. So I use Time Hop, and every day I, click in there and I see what was Candace doing like 5, 4, 3 years ago. And for my birthday, it was like a picture of a ginormous cake, and a German chocolate cake. And it was like, I ate the whole thing. I was like, well, all right, that was 5 years ago. So it's just kind of funny. So in one of my posts, I was like, Time Hop reminded me that I ate the whole thing, but this birthday I ate a whole salad. Like, oops, go me. But that was funny. But it's very helpful in writing posts. Krista, are you still on here? I can't see you. Or did you ditch us? Brittany, Realm Minds.
Can I say something really quick?
Please, dear Lord.
So, me and you talked about a book when we were hiking called The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers. And I actually bought it because it's $1.99 on Kindle. And it's been really helpful to start my morning productive, and that first hour, with meditation and silence and visualization. So if you guys wanted to get that, it's like really cheap right now. I'm not sure why it's only $1, but I'm loving it so far. So
thank you for saying that, because I was literally just thinking about a morning routine, and I was like thinking about the Miracle Morning, and I totally forgot, but I wrote it down because I'm going to buy that one and the Go for No on Thursday. Go for No for network marketing and Miracle Morning for network marketing. I mean, we're in network marketing, so like, why not get books geared towards it to help us, And that's perfect. What else?
I love that Keith Callahan said today, well, I just watched the video, like, right before this, but he said when it comes to personal development, like, find where you need to grow and then become that book. Like, find a book that you vibe with and really, like, become it. Like, dig into it, dig deep into it, and take all, like, the activities seriously. And because I used to just skim through and like skip all of the little activities. And since I've actually started doing them, it really makes a difference. So just hearing him say that again, like find where you need to grow and really like dig deep. Like I really need to grow on discipline. And so I'm trying to like focus on discipline right now and like, and leaning towards the universe instead of like my anger. So that's where I'm focusing on, and I'm sharing about that. And so, yeah, that's just a little thing too. Like, yeah.
No, that's such a good point. When I watched all those videos, I was like, I'm going to remember all this. I didn't take any notes, like a total dunce, but I'm going to take tons of notes from now forward, because I obviously, when I get in front of you guys, I feel like a deer in the headlights, and I'm like, I don't remember anything. But that was one of my favorite things that he said as well, because like sometimes we get books and we just read them and we read them and we read them and we're like in personal development, but you're not, because personal development is reading the book, like Haley said, you know, something that you need to work on, which is obviously personal to you, and then applying what you learn in the book and then sharing it, right? So like, for example, like how she said she needed universal stuff. Like I struggled with time management. And so I had read the Eat That Frog or whatever about doing the hardest task first. And I shared about that. So, and it makes it more fun and it makes it more natural and easy to share on your social media about where you're growing, because you're actually enjoying the process. You're not like forcing yourself to read these things that don't really apply to you. I mean, it's totally normal if you pick up a book and you're like, no, this isn't clicking with me, like put it down and pick something else up. Like I would never want you to like force yourself through a book because you're not getting anything from it. And the whole point of reading it is to be able to get things from it and then apply the things that you learn into your life to make yourself better, you know, in your business and, you know, relationships or whatever you're actually working on. Hi, Nikki. I just thought it was like Facebook Live video for a minute because I'm used to saying hi to everybody. I don't really have anything else that I can think of to share offhand. Like my brain is literally mush. I need to catch up on like introverting. I don't know. But unless you guys want me to elaborate on anything else, or if anyone has anything else to add of something you're struggling with that I can help with, like I think one of my biggest strengths is like writing posts. I'm obsessed with that, and I do my best kind of to help you guys along the way if you want it.
Can I say one more thing?
Please say
Sorry.
lots of more things.
I just took like a whole shit ton of notes. So when you said posting, it kind of like, I just wanted to share this too for people. Like if any of you struggle, because I struggled really hard and still kind of do with going from being a coach to like a CEO to sharing the coaching opportunity instead of just challenge groups. And so Keith Callahan also said, like, change your entire intention to like base your posts around coaching now. And obviously don't forget the challenge groups, because fitness is a big thing of what we do. And obviously the challenge groups are too. But change your entire intention when it comes to your posts to coaching. And he also said that when you do that, like, don't force it to be like fast or anything, because you're learning as you go, as long as you do it. But it's going to take like 6 months of intention for anything to show. Like they say in your business, it takes 3 months for like your income to show or whatever. When you're like working really focused and hard, it's going to take up to 6 months or probably more of intention of like intending your posts to go towards coaching instead of challengers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely does, because this business, like, we don't see immediate results. We see them later, and that's very true. Like, I was just talking to Audrey maybe like a few weeks ago, and I told her I really saw like a huge shift in the way she was posting and how she's focusing more, like you said, like recruiting-ish with intention, talking about coaching more and the opportunity. And I just reminded her, like, hey, you just started doing this. You just made this shift, so don't be like alarmed when you don't see the results like right away. It's going to take, you know, a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months, 90 days, you know, down the road for it to actually start flourishing. And just know that that's normal, because that's this business. I mean, with everything.
Yeah, that just kind of like pulled one of my little strings. So I thought I would share it in case someone else needed to hear that too.
Definitely. It's always a good reminder to hear that, like, you put in work, but, you know, you have to be patient for the result, but it is coming. But we just have to be patient, right? There was also a podcast that he suggested that sounded like it would be something that we would like. It's by Tara Brock. And I don't remember exactly the genre or what it was or the topic. I believe it was like meditation, but he said it was like a personal development podcast that was, meditation. There we go. Meditation podcast. But she teaches us lessons through storytelling. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty good about, like, I can hear something in a story and it makes way more sense to me than just someone telling me to do something, like when they actually give me an example. So that's Tara Brach, Brach is what I think he said, but I haven't checked it out yet. Who said they've been using it? Who is Big Papa? Is that Brittany? Oh. I didn't even know you're on this call because I saw Big Papa. I was like, who is that? Does anyone else have anything else to add that is working for them this week, or something that they need help with, something that's not working? You just want to say something to me. I know you have lots of stuff.
I have something to say.
Yay.
For the record, I don't know how to change that. It was funny at first, and now I'm just Big Papa all the time. My Siri calls me that too, so, one thing that Keith had said that really stuck out to me was about being a knowledge hoarder, because I totally have been doing that. Like, I've been, like, reading YouTube, frickin', like, blog posts, like, stalking everybody, but I'm still, like, having trouble talking to people. And I know, like, that's supposed to be the whole focus, but it's like, I don't know. I'm really bad at just, like, randomly reaching out to people to say something. I don't really know how to, like, initialize conversation without being a weirdo. I'm very awkward, so.
No, and that's totally fine, because, like, a lot of us are super weird and stuff on this team. The best thing that I can suggest for that, like, to start conversations, is complimenting. Janelle always taught me that compliments, like, people appreciate that, but they have to be genuine. So when I would go through and do my connecting, which was creating conversations and making new friends, I would just go to people's pages that I thought were awesome, and I would be like, dude, where'd you get your hair done? Because I freaking love that red. Or, dude, where did you get that tattoo? Because those colors are freaking so vibrant that I've never seen anything like it. Or, dude, I have the same dog as you. Like, literally just making legitimate, real connections like that. And I don't just cold message people, and I have done it, and it, like, a few times, and I'm like, you know what, this is so, and I'll even say, this is freaking weird. I don't normally do this, but you're awesome, and I would love to, like, work together. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then I would tell them more. But, like, I rarely do that, because of all the connecting that I consistently did and do make the conversations a lot less weird, because it's like we almost already know each other, because we've just been talking back and forth on photos. So maybe, like, I'll compliment a girl and then she'll write me back, and then we'll talk back and forth, and I'll ask questions. Like, the best thing is complimenting, asking questions, because, like, you can do that. I mean, it feels good to get a compliment, right? Like, you don't have to, like, think of this whole, like, elaborate thing to, like, reach out and talk to them about. It's like just striking up I mean, I know we don't love small talk, but it's this business, so we have to do it. And you're right, the conversations, they can be tough, but that is this business. It's basically when you say you're working, you literally are talking to people. That's literally how we work, because we talk to people. It's not like talking to people, we're really working. And I'm brain farting, but there was something important I wanted to say. And Cody's starting the dirt bike, and it's distracting me. Balls. Cold messaging. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, cold messaging works for people or not, but I don't like it. It feels impersonal to me. I mean, so I cold message someone, I would never cold message and expect someone to, like, buy a challenge pack. I would cold message just to talk to them. And then maybe 6 months to a year, that relationship would be grown into, like, something. You know what I mean? Like, I would never just reach out to someone and be like, this is going to be the one that signs up. I mean, not saying that doesn't happen. It can happen, but what the? Computer just came in charge. There's something I wanted to say about the messages to you, Brittany, and I just, like, totally brain farted. So if I think of it, I'll just have to message it to you. The dirt bike outside is very distracting. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Eye roll. Does that make sense, though? Just, like, that's how like, this business is. Like, we're connecting with people by finding common ground and then talking about that. Oh, am I lagging? Nope. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Also, I just wanted to say I've totally used the Tara Brach meditation stuff before. I really like it. So
Yeah, I thought it would be really beneficial for our team because I know that like a lot of us are super mega introverts and we tell way too many stories in our head that is so unnecessary. So what is that you're showing? Oh, Tara Brach. Oh, thank you.
helped to be to have like something that was guided, because for me, like I tried to do meditation, I'd sit down, like my dog would come in, or I'd hear like click 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 on the wood, you know, or the freaking clock on the wall, and I was like, I can't do this. So it really helped me to actually like be able to really, you know, sit down and spend some time, because I just put on my headphones and like the whole thing is guided, so it helps a lot.
That is helpful. Definitely. How many new people do I personally connect with each day? My business is very different now than when I first started. When I first started, I was making as many connections as I possibly could every single day. Like I spent the majority of my business connecting with people, which meant just touching new people and commenting on new people. And because my social media was and is so consistent in sharing it in my message, I knew that if I could just get someone interested in me in general and talk to them, and then they go to my page, they're going to get hit with my message regardless, because I'm like all about blasting it on my page. And that's like our ultimate goal, is exposure and getting our message in front of people so we can help them. Right. But yeah, like Brianna said, I don't write down the names of people. I'm just out there connecting unless we have a legitimate conversation, like in the messages, I would not write, and they showed some sort of interest. I wouldn't track them unless they were like your dream team. Otherwise, I don't know. But everyone runs their businesses differently. That's just what I did. Brianna said she connects with 5 to 10 people a day. New people? Is that new people, Bri? Brianna. That feels weird calling you Brianna. It's my government name. 5 to 10 new people.
Yep.
Okay. And are those people you're adding to your network, or are they just people
I'm just
added?
Conversation, friendship, building that relationship with them. And then I kind of move on, and then I just kind of go back to them. Even though I don't write down their names, I do figure out who comments the most, and then I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, and it's important to consistently do that, because you're keeping your pipeline full of, like, it can take, like for me, take me for example, when Colleen reached out to me and I talked to her, she had to follow up with me and talk to me and connect with me for a year before I said yes, you know, a year. And so, you know, for one, if she didn't continue to follow up, I wouldn't be here, or maybe I would be with someone else's team. I don't even know. Maybe not, probably not. But it's asking me to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. I don't even know what the point of me even talking about that was. I'm so distracted. Anything else? I missed them at like Chris 4 months before I said yes. It's funny. So we have to think about those things. Like when you message someone, it's not like you're going to message them and then they're going to sign up right away. That's not how this business works. That's why it's important to be consistent, because the people you talk to now might be the challengers you start like 6 months from now. You know, you don't know. It's like planting a seed. I love the analogy of planting a seed and then continuously watering it, and then it grows. You know, like that's literally what our relationships are with people. It's like they're little seeds that we plant, and then we continually water them. And that doesn't mean we're like, join me. We're like being a friend, you know? Erin, see, I didn't know that. Erin says, I know because people watching the recording can't see this chat. She said it took her 2 years of following me before she decided she wanted to coach. And then Chris said it took him like 4 months. It's just like you never know. Sarah says she sends a cold message and attempts conversations with 5 new people per day, invite at least 10 people per day to challenges or wellness, clean eating group, and she adds 10 per day. Yeah, that's important to expand your network. And I would suggest, I don't know if everyone here knows, but you want all your pages to be public. So if there's anything that you don't want the world to see, just remove it or hide it or put it away. That's what I did before. How do you invite? I feel like some coaches don't grasp inviting. We have 8 minutes left. How do I invite? Invite is, it comes organic. It's natural. Like it comes natural when it's right. Like unless someone has shown multiple interests and we've never really talked before, but she always comments on my fitness stuff, I'd be like, girl, when are you going to join me? That's an invite, right? Join you what? Or my challenge starts on the 13th. Like, we're doing X, Y, and Z, and it's going to be like 30 minutes and, 30-minute workouts, clean eating, simplified eating, superfood shake, whatever. And I would have to think about how to answer that question, because the connecting is so important, making friends and creating those conversations, that the inviting is easy after that. Like, you don't invite first. Your social media has to be on point, which means you have to be showing up every day, sharing your message, sharing your workout, sharing your accountability, documenting your journey, like Haley said, and what Brittany said about, leaving it as like a legacy, like, this has to be on point, or inviting is going to be really freaking weird, because you're going to be that person behind the scenes that you're like, join me, but you're not doing anything. And they're going to be like, join you what? Like, then it just feels scammy and salesy, right? So I hope that makes sense. Like, social media on point first. Like, your job is you first. Yes, Bree, is this finger?
Yes, me. No, I just wanted to point out in Dream Corp a couple of weeks ago, Colleen did a really neat post for all of us to do, and I thought it was a really good idea for everyone to do. So if you go onto your Facebook page and you go to your photos and you go to your uploads, you will see all the photos that you have uploaded, and that is what your market currently looks like. So if it's kind of all over the place, or if it's like all vacation and all of your kids and there's nothing really about fitness, you kind of want to like fix that.
Yeah, like balance. Like, you kind of have the things that you share about consistently and you rotate them. And leave coaching and the opportunity and, what you do every day and eating and all that stuff into it all. I wish that I could like explain this so much simpler, but my brain is like, I just do it. But
basically you just pick like 4 or 5 passion points of yours. So like whatever interests you want to post the most. So it'd be fitness, food, if you have children, your dogs, if you like to travel, that kind of stuff. Don't like post things that are like
off-brand.
Your market. I mean, that's still you, but you still want to show your personality.
Samantha says, so you don't just invite. I don't know what you mean by that question. So I don't just invite. Like, are you asking, like, I don't just message someone and say, do you want to join my team? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? I mean, because
that's what a lot of people assume.
Yeah, no, the invite comes after I've already connected with them and asked, and like it comes up naturally. I wouldn't just like, but if you're a newer coach, the best thing that you can do is practice on your friends and family, like your warm market, your close friends and your close family. I asked all my family to join me in the beginning because they're not going to be mad at me for like asking them, right? And so I practiced my conversations with them, like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And then I practiced on all my close friends. I got a couple to do it with me, but it was really good practice, and it's a little more comfortable like talking to them than a stranger. But how do you exactly invite?
I think you would just want to continue the conversation with people, and once you start getting comfortable posting yourself and being more out there, people are going to be bound to just reach out to you and kind of be curious. So that's where it will come in handy for you.
So when you say, and also when she says it never comes up naturally, that would make me ask, what does your social media say? Because the way it comes up naturally to me is because my social media is all about eating right, working out, traveling. It's all very on brand for me. So when I talk to people, I don't have to say anything about coaching or working out or eating, because they see my social media, like they'll be like, who's this girl messaging me? And then they'll go create my page, and my message is so clear, and I'm always talking about what I'm doing, which are the vital behaviors of a coach, right? With my life and my interests and my hobbies mixed in, that they're like, what did you do again? And then it comes up, or they'll be like, why are you always posting your sweaty workout pictures? And then it comes up, like they open the door and I walk through. When they ask something that has to do with it, it's usually based on the consistency of my social media. Like, does that make sense? Oh yeah, Haley. Yeah, we share that in the team page. I made a video on Haley's team call a while ago about connecting, and I like shared my screen, I think, and I went through like what I would do. Yeah, people get curious eventually, because if you're consistent, people get curious. If you just dabble, like I wouldn't care to ask you, but if you were consistent with it, I'd be like, what is this thing you're always posting about? You're always positive. You're always eating with these freaking multicolor containers that look like children's blocks, like Haley just called them earlier. Thanks, Diane. Okay, yeah. I'm going to post that video that I made in our team page.
Something. So today when I my transformation picture, I usually get about 150 likes, and I simply just send them all a message that say like, thank you for the support, like, are you on a fitness too? And you'd be surprised how many people are like, oh my gosh, what are you doing, you know, or they ask for help. And that's a really good way to like start the invite process and be like, oh my gosh, I actually have a group started, you know, like, can I get to know you more and give you some more info? That's like a really good thing.
Yeah, that's such a good tip too. You can literally go through anyone that's liked your photo that's not a coach already that you know of, and you can message them just like she said, thanks for the support. Are you on your own journey? And you just open the door for yourself, and then you walk in, and then you guys start talking about it. No, not really, but I want to lose 10 pounds, but I don't know how. And you're like, oh, cool, I have a group starting up. You should totally join us. Invite. And if they say no, which they probably will, you can be like, cool. And then keep talking to them because you're creating that relationship. Add them to a follow-up list. Follow up again. And then you get like 15 likes. That's cool. So that's fine because you're building your network. I don't know how new of a coach you are, how long you've been doing this, but when I first started, I got like 3 likes, 4 likes, 5 likes, you know, and it doesn't mean necessarily that a shit ton of people aren't seeing it. It just means that you're building your network right now. So I'm going to post a connecting resource that Haley has in the group page, and we have like less than a minute. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to get on here tonight. I know everybody has lives, and I love you guys, and I am always here to help. All right, everybody have a great night. Mwah!